Hey guys, Bounce here, and for today's video I thought I'd talk a little bit about Yasuo, since I was sort of teaching myself how to play him yesterday. I don't really play him, but I was where he had some wall jump, so I was kind of going through the process to figure out how he dashes through certain walls in the jungle. It's a bit awkward and requires a little bit of practice, so I thought I'd make a bit of a tutorial, I suppose, in regards to how to do that. So yeah, we're starting the white here. So while he's still in the fog of war, you kind of position yourself right up to him like this, and then you can just kind of wall dash through him that way, like that. He's one of the easier ones. So if you can actually see him, it's a little bit harder because you got to edge yourself right up to him without auto attacking. Alternatively, you can go from the other side by stabbing the wall. He shows himself by attacking you, and then you jump through to him. So that's another possible escape or chase mechanism there. If you want to, you can also put down the wind wall, which gives you vision, or just drop a ward. That obviously works as well. So next, let's move on to this thing here. In my experience, the big golem is usually the thing you want to target on like the other side, but it doesn't seem to work too well here. So basically, I'm going to have to go for the little one, which is positioned so we get sight of him, so you can kind of see where he stands. This is a good way of learning it. Memorize kind of where he's standing. Then you back up and go to the fog of war. So he's about there, right? So you want to position yourself to go like this. This one can be a bit tricky. I hope I don't mess it up. But then you dash like so, and then you get out that way. So that's probably a pretty useful one. A lot of fights center around the big buff objectives. Conversely, we're going to go to the wolves next, which is not a very useful jump. It's not the biggest one in the world. But the wolf is standing right there, right? So we go back into the fog of war, and then position myself here. And you can kind of dash through this small wall here a little bit. You can actually get a bit more of a dash like right through that. So that wasn't very useful. I wouldn't worry about the wolves too much, unless like probably the more useful scenario would be the opposite direction. So you drop wind wall there, and then you come like that. If you're being chased, you want to chase someone like that. So that'll work in that way. Again, wind wall, very useful vision tool. So we're going to move on to the wraiths. The wraiths are a bit more tricky. You're going to want to position yourself. Landmarks are a very useful way of memorizing where you need to click. So see how that white is right there, the black one? See that triangle right here? There's a square right here. You want to position yourself right on that triangle, like right there on the edge of the triangle. And then you're pretty much inside the black-white. And this angle looks a bit odd. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it, but yeah, there we go. We got it. Perfect. So you can dash through that wall there. Of a slightly interesting note, you can't actually dash backwards this way, even if you get vision. Oh, never mind. I lied. You can. Okay. I tried it last time. I couldn't, and apparently I just got it for the first time on this video. So, yeah, you can dash backwards through the wall if you have vision of it. Next we have these guys here. Now these ones aren't very useful. There's not a lot you can do with this jump. Like you can try and do it with the little guy here. I don't think this is actually... Whoa, Yasuo was freaking out. Yeah, so you can't really dash through that in my experience. So I don't think it's possible, but who knows. There's a slightly less useful jump here where you can kind of go position yourself in the flower, right above the flower there. Actually, no, the angle is off. So you kind of position yourself like right above the flower, like right about there. And then you can sort of dash through that wall right there. Like that. It's not, the biggest thing in the world. That's pretty small. You can obviously, again, do the opposite thing like this. Kind of put yourself in there like that. Like that's really not useful at all. Okay, so the next jump is here at the double golem camp. Now this one has a good landmark on it, so you're going to want to dash through that little guy there. And see this stone slab? You want to stand like right in front of it, like right there. And you'll be positioned right inside those. That's not good. You're going to be positioned like right inside them, at kind of like in the middle of them there. And then you dash this way, right through the wall like that. So that's how you get through there. Also, you can do the opposite. Now, you can't stab through this wall because the golems just aggro and they won't actually follow you. They won't actually give you... Wow, these guys are chasing me a really long way. I've never seen them come that far. But in any case, once they're back, I'll show you guys that yeah, you can stab them and they'll come around, but you don't get vision of them. So what you want to do is either have a ward or place this thing down, and then you can just sort of dash to one of them like that. So another escape mechanism there. Moving on to the next camp. We're going to do, the white on this side is the exact same thing as on the white on this side. So, I mean, I guess I could do it, but like I said, it's the same as the other white. I found this one's a bit more tricky in my experience, but it's still not that hard. So I aggroed him. So after you can, even after you aggro him, you can still actually position yourself to dash through like that. So you just got to reposition yourself a little bit. Alternatively, there's also the opposite thing, just like with this side. You stab him, gives you vision, and you can dash to him there. You have to have like the right angle and be standing at the same spot. You can't be standing at the thick part. You got to go to the thin part, like right there. Okay, so next we're going to move on to the blue buff thing here. You can actually use either the big golem or the little golem here. The big one, in my experience, is a bit easier to use. So you kind of click right there, so you're going to be standing inside of him, and then just dash that way, and you go straight through the thing to the back. If you want to dash to the little golem, you kind of go at an angle and come through like that. Now this one, in my experience, it's really difficult to stab the little one, get vision, and then dash through. So basically, when I want to dash through backwards, I'm just going to use the wind wall and dash to the big golem like that. Because if you stab through, basically you don't get vision of the big golem until he's already gone. So I'll show you what I actually mean by that. The wind wall gives you like a long-term vision, whereas stabbing, by the time you actually see the golem, he's already like walked off. So it's a bit difficult to do. So of course there's the wolves as well, and much like the other the wolves down below, you can get vision of that and then dash to them like that. So that's one way of using those wolves right there. Alternatively, you should be able to do it in the opposite direction. So let's see where the wolves are exactly. So the wolves are going to be standing right there, so I should be able to dash out the back that way, or I can dash that way. Just for the demonstration purpose, I'm just going to do this one, because this one's actually a bit tricky. So let's go over here. You're going to stand in the middle of that rock, I assume, probably. This may or may not work. Let's give it a shot, though. Okay, that one worked. So, yeah, dash through the back of the wolves there. Okay, next we're going to go to this Wraith camp. So we're going to want to dash through that one right there. This one I think works too, but let's just do that one. Actually, you know what? Let's do this one over here, because you can use this triangle as a marker, I think it was. Okay, I should be standing in the Wraith right there, and then that was a failure. Let's not do that one. This one is actually a bit trickier than the other Wraith camp I found. I don't know why. I think it's just the angle of the camera. But, okay, let's just do this one. He's easier down here. So you click over here. You're going to be standing inside the white. And then Wraith, or rather, yeah, okay. So you dash right through him. And the angle is a bit different, obviously, from this side where you dash out like that. This one you come out kind of like there, like that. Puts you right into the lane. So, of course, you can actually the thing down and then dash the opposite direction as well, the wind wall. If you stab them, they start walking around, so you don't really get vision. I'll show you guys that in a second. Let's just wait until the white comes back. Stab them. See, they don't aggro properly. Or they won't shoot you through the wall, so you won't get vision of them. Next we have this camp here. Now there's not too much that's very useful again at the red buff. The red buff seems to be generally the least useful camp in terms of the weird dashing. I think we can kind of position ourselves to get through like here on the wall like that. So you kind of get through like that. Again, the more thing that might be more useful is once you on-aggro these things, is dashing backwards into the camp. So we'll try that out. So there's the angle. It's right there. You've got to keep walking until he gets the proper angle. So you can do a very short dash. Again, not the most useful thing in the universe. Okay, so now we have the opposite golem camp. So let's just get out of the way from there. So you're going to use that rock right there. See that big rock slab? That one there? So we're going to go over here. I'm going to be standing inside the golem. And hopefully this one works. The angle is, yeah, that angle was a bit awkward. So even I keep screwing this up. I haven't been doing it that long. So again, this is something you probably want to practice until you memorize exactly where all the positions are. The little golem is actually probably going to be easier. So let's get out of the vision there, and then that should be about right there, like that big rock. Let's stand right in the middle of that big rock. And then I'm going to come at it at an angle. Hopefully, yeah, there we go. That works. And so you guys have already seen this on the opposite side, but you know, for the sake of completeness, we're going to drop a wind wall down here and then just dash like that. So I can dash the big one like so. Yeah, that is, I believe, all the camps. Yeah, we've gone through all the camps once. We've done it through both directions. Every single camp has at least something. Again, these wolves, not the most useful one in the world. Red doesn't tend to have anything too useful. The most useful stuff tends to come in probably the white, what's it called? The blue golem. I don't really see this being useful too often, because how often do fights and, you know, chases happen around wraiths? I mean, they do sometimes, but it's not very often. This one looks cool, and you know, if you're ganking bottom lane or something like that, you know, this might be an escape if it goes awkwardly. So yeah, those are the various dash points on Summoner's Rift with the new or not with new, with Yasuo. There may be some others. Like I said, I've only started doing this yesterday, but these are the ones I've discovered. I looked up a few more, and there you have it. Hopefully you guys found this informative and or possibly somewhat entertaining. I'll see you guys around. I'm probably going to go work on sucking less with Yasuo in general. I've learned the dash points. Now we just need to learn how to use the character. Anyway, goodbye.